Do you struggle to create? Do you let the opinions of other people, what they think, and the fear of rejection or fear of not being accepted stop you from creating? Then let me share with you in this video how I found freedom to create, and it might be something you haven't yet considered. So what you don't know is that I actually just spent the past 30 minutes creating this video, and I actually forgot to unmute the mic, and so I was recording this whole thing without my mic actually working. I'm looking, I'm checking, I'm double checking. It's on now, but I share that with you because you see, done is better than perfect. That's how I've heard people say it before. It's better for it to be done than for you to be perfect. And one of the first things I want to share with you that's going to free you to be able to create with so much freedom is to recognize that you can just do it, be done with it, rather than focusing on perfection. You know, I had an opportunity as well to maybe clean this room. These are my boys' Lego pieces, and I could have just easily put it in a basket, put it away. But I also recognize that my time is limited. Praise God, my kids are still asleep. Well, 2 of them are. The other one's just watching quietly the TV with my wife while she's reading. And instead of taking the time to do all of that, I said, no, this is my life. This is what I'm gonna put on display, and people can see it, and whether they accept it or not, or whether it looks presentable or not, this is what they are getting. At the end of the day, I can do all of these things to try to gain acceptance from you or from other people, or just because I have that fear of rejection or being rejected. But instead I choose to say, no, I really only need to make this content for one person, and his name is Jesus. It's to glorify him through what I'm making. And instead of fearing men, right, fearing their rejection, fearing that I won't be accepted by them, I can be secure knowing that I'm already accepted in Jesus Christ. I'm already accepted by God. I'm already, instead of fearing rejection of man, I know that God accepts me, and therefore I get the freedom to create and do what God is calling me to do. You see, this is something that I've wrestled with through my entire content creation journey. Through the years, it's always been ups and downs, ups and downs. It's truly been a roller coaster. And the reason why is because whenever things would get accepted by people and people would give me, you know, how do things get accepted in social media? Well, people like it, they subscribe, they follow, they share it, they comment, right? The engagement that you get on a specific piece of content. And so when things are great and people are loving my content, guess what? I'm happy, I'm great. And then as soon as I post something and it doesn't get the engagement I want, people aren't liking it as much, I'm not getting the views that I think it should get. And then my level of engagement, my level of being consistent to the task at hand begins to wane, until finally what's happened time and time again is that it stops me from creating. It stops me from putting out the message that God has given in my heart, that he's told me to share with other people. And that's not what I want. You see, what I want at the end of the day is for God to tell me and say, well done, my good and faithful servant. And the key that unlocked all of this is to recognize that at the end of the day, what I'm responsible for isn't the amount of views, isn't the amount of reach that this content is getting. It isn't about amount of comments or shares or saves or subscribers or anything like that. What I'm responsible for is, will I show up every day? Will I provide value that meets the needs of people who are wanting to know what it means to be found faithful? Am I showing up and being consistent to what I say, being a man of integrity and character, showing up, letting my yes be yes and my no be no? You see, I can focus on what I can control and what I believe God is calling me to, and then I can actually release it. I can release the result. I can release the expectations that I have. I can release all of that to God. Because you see, oftentimes in the world of YouTube and all and social media, they'll say, hey, you need to post a certain amount. You have to do it at a certain time. You have to be consistent in order to, feed the algorithm, whatever, reach the right audience. But here's the thing, my God is greater than an algorithm. My God is greater than an audience. And if I can just focus on what God is calling me to, He's gonna do what He's gonna do. He's gonna make the content reach who it needs to reach, however many that is, whoever that is, if it's just one, or even if it's zero. If all God is doing in all of this is just making me a better Christ follower, then praise God. I've done what I've been called to do, which is to show up and be faithful. So if I could give you one piece of encouragement today, it would be this. There's only one of you. And if God has given you a vision, if God has given you a goal to pursue, if God has called you to something and you're not obedient to it, you are blocking the blessing for all of the people who would reap a blessing from you being obedient. What I mean by that is this. Look, God has a message that He's given to you. And if you don't speak it, if you don't step out and create it, if you don't go and share it, then nobody will be able to get to hear that message. Or actually, let me scratch that. That's not really the truth. God can use whoever and however He wants to get His message across. But what we miss out on, what you miss out on, and what I miss out on whenever we choose to be disobedient is we don't get to join God. We don't get the blessing of getting to be used by God for His mission. And so let me just end this video this way by encouraging you to be faithful. Whatever God has called you to, step out in faith and do it. And you may think, I only have a little bit and it's not great. It's not the best. Well, God can take your little, what you're faithful in, and He can make much of it. The question is, will you trust Him? So I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I don't want to keep you long. So if you want more content just like this, don't forget to subscribe and also check out this video right here. That is gonna be a blessing to you. All right, I didn't know how I was gonna end it. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. See ya. Peace.